365 Tarot. Welcome to my channel. I greatly appreciate you being here. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I trust you'll love the vibe. And everything you need to know about me is in the description below. This could be past, present, or future, you or someone around you. So please take what resonates and leave the rest for someone else, okay? I have a message from Spirit, okay? I have a message that needs to be conveyed. I was done with readings and I was told to pass this message on because there are many people who may need to hear this message. Everyone is aware that we are always in the energy of evolution. We're always in the energy of change. Therefore, nothing ever stays the same. This is easier said than understood for many. You know, many of us have conversations, but not all of us are privy or able to grasp the meaning of certain things that are happening inside of us as well as around us. At this time here on the planet Earth, where humans are planted, there's a lot taking place here. Economically speaking, there are a lot of people who are prepared, to experience change, are prepared to make changes in their life. And there are some who aren't prepared, just like there are some who believe in conspiracy theories, and there are some people who run from it or shun it or downplay it. And then there are many, many, many at this time are choosing to tap in and just be a little more open when it comes to all of the conspiracy theories that they may have resisted or downplayed or shoved away from even having a listening ear when it comes to different perceptions of life, especially regarding conversations about pre-orchestrated design or desires. At this time, there's a lot taking place, a lot of changes that are occurring. And there are a lot of people who are experiencing hardships and changes in their life. Some changes that they thought they would never have to embrace or experience. There are actually people here on the planet Earth who feel that life is ran one way and it will always be that way. It's like a person being born into wealth versus a person who has to build and create their wealth. There's a total difference between the two. But at this time, Spirit wants someone to be aware, because I was done with readings, but I was told to share this message to make sure that you are staying grounded. There will be people, even total strangers collective, whom you will see and observe do a lot of weird activity. Weird activity. Do not allow these things to disturb you and try not to engage. There will also be people trying to trigger you and pull you in. They'll be trying to do energy swapping with you. Even total strangers. Be mindful when you are out in public. If you have children or even if you're in a group of adults, be mindful of engaging in loose conversation that you know is controversial. I'll give you an example. Everyone does not believe in politics. Everyone doesn't believe in voting, but that topic itself is very controversial. Be mindful of maybe going out, having alcohol, having drinks. You can have your fun, but be mindful of engaging into any conversation that is controversial, any topics that are controversial. Source just wants you to be aware, because the changes that are happening in people's lives is taking a devastating effect. And when I say devastating, they are shocked. These people are shocked because they are used to living their lives in one way, and they thought that they would never, ever have to make a change. These could be people also who probably lived in a certain tax bracket and thought they would never, ever have to maybe shop somewhere different, clip a coupon, change their residency, meaning downsize, okay? Maybe not have 4 cars in the driveway, but maybe just 1 or 2 or just 1. There's a lot of changes that people are experiencing, and people are emotional and they are in their feelings. Do not take this message lightly. This is not me projecting fear, but the collective wants me to deliver this message because there will be people out here, even total strangers, who are so upset and they are roaming. They don't know what to do with themselves. They're in their feelings and they will be trying to trigger you, trying to get you to engage, to get into a confrontation. And you don't want that to happen because one thing can lead to another. There are people who some are licensed carriers and some aren't. Be mindful, stay out of the way. If you have small children, this is not a fear monger topic or conversation, and I'm about to tap into the tarot. But if you have small children, make sure that you have a conversation with any teenagers in your family about their behavior. It's okay to go out, have fun, live your life. We don't feed the fears. It's false evidence appearing real. But there's also real things that are happening and you need to be aware of. So those who know, who are on the journey and the path, can pretty much catch the message that I am delivering. I hope the message is received well. Now I'm going to tap into the tarot, but Spirit wants you to be mindful. This is a great time to not have petty arguments, Source is saying. This is a great time to let people have it, especially if you are somewhere and people are consuming, drinking, smoking, or indulging in any type of vices, or even if there aren't. This is a great time to just not be in the middle of chaos and a bunch of gossip and conflict. Avoid it at all costs. The first card we have here is the Ace of Wands. Source wants us to, be encouraged to make sure we're staying tapped in and tuned in. Do not disregard or doubt or think because you've done something for a long period of time that it's okay. Oh, your best friend invites you somewhere. You've been knowing this BFF since you were a small child, so you trust them. You can only control what goes on in your household. You cannot control what's going on in someone else's household. You can only control yourself, collective. You cannot control other people. So Spirit wants you to use your intelligence, use your knowledge, and apply it so that it can turn into wisdom over time. It's time to move out of intelligence, not out of fear. It's time to move out of intelligence, not out of fear. As I just said, a lot is changing for a lot of people. Doesn't matter what your tax bracket is, and it is devastating for a lot of people. People are in their feelings. And if you run into the wrong type of energy and you're playing and taking it lightly, that everyone isn't as strong as you, everyone isn't able to receive change as well as you. There's a lot of jokes about growing up in the hood and in the ghetto. But one thing I can tell you for sure about people in the hood and the ghetto, there's a lot of strong people that comes from the hood and the ghetto. I'm going to say that. But as we see this woman here standing on this wheel here, this wheel is turning. You see the dark and you see the light, which is part of life, the duality. Okay, this is something that we are existing in, the duality. But if you want your wheel to turn for you personally in your own life, the things that I am speaking of is very important. You cannot move the same way. You cannot do what you have been doing for the past 5 years. We're in new energy. We're in a new timeline. Those who know. This is something just to take into accountability. The energy is different. The vibration is different. Things are constantly changing, okay? The vibration is going up. You should be thinking about fruitful, conversations and ideas, building, creating, being around people and having conversations that are focused on building and creating. Be mindful of wanting to be in the in crowd because it's a Friday or a Saturday night, or you hear that this party is taking place. Be mindful so that you don't lose your balance. Be mindful, okay? Because there is energy at play, okay? There's a lot going on. There's that positive energy and there's that dark energy. Which side do you want to be on? You cannot move the same way. You should be working on changing something about yourself on a daily. It does not have to be massive. And once again, someone has a house of teenagers who like to hang out and have a good time. They can do that, but you should make sure that you're talking to your family about their behavior, just how to carry themselves out in public, when you're not around, even if they are adults, maybe they may be 19 or 20, driving, able to drive. But it's important to have these conversations because there's a lot of things occurring, that just doesn't have to be. You don't want someone catching a case and they really don't have to. You don't want someone possibly getting harmed, God forbid that, and they really don't have to. So these conversations need to be had, they need to be thought about, we need to ponder on these things and they need to be thought about. It is time for us to become more enlightened, possibly do some things you've never done, more fruitful things, not fruitless. Far as living your life, you can do whatever you choose. This is not a fearmonger message. This is just a message of concern from source, to be mindful. Be mindful of your environment. Be mindful of the conversations that you engage in, because everyone is not happy. You may wake up feeling good and feeling happy, collective, but everyone is not in the same space and place, and that has nothing to do with you. But Source wants you to be safe and be mindful. Okay, so when it comes to petty arguments, any small conversations, be willing to surrender. Be willing to let the other person have it. Okay, be willing to surrender because it's just simply not worth it. People are really taking it hard, especially those who are experiencing hardships, especially economic hardships, and they've never experienced it in their lives. Okay, there are some people who have been through ups and downs and turnarounds their entire life. Okay, I'm pretty sure we can talk about that probably for a whole day, but there are some people who have never experienced change. They've always, had it going on and on. And they don't like the adjustments. It's not, and I'm not speaking about no one being homeless or with nothing to eat. No, I'm talking about people who are wealthy and they don't want to make adjustments. Just a simple, small adjustment. And there are people who are angry. So Source just wants you to be mindful of that. Okay, so be mindful of not being the fool. Be mindful of not being the fool. Usually when I hold this card, it's about courage. The Spirit is saying, be mindful of not being the fool. Don't ignore or disregard your intuition. You don't always have to be where the party is. It is okay to say no and be on reserve. If, your intuition or your spirit tells you not to go somewhere, it's not a good time, even though you may be in the mood, you got that nice outfit, those new shoes, maybe you just got paid, that check just hit the account. It's really a good idea to pay attention to your inner niggle, your inner wiggle. The whole objective is to keep you in calmer waters. So you can avoid the topsy-turvy moments, so you can avoid being in that chaos or that toxicity or being in situations, because worldwide there's a lot going on many, many levels. I can only say so much in this video. But regardless of what goes on, remember that you are the star player, you are the MVP, and you are your own savior. And so you are in full control, okay? A star only shines if it has your attention. But that's how celebrities are made. But I don't need to mention. So be safe. Be good to yourself, those who are around you. Most of all, be mindful. Later.